Phantoms are one player down, but they have the majority of balls. It's on them to throw. It's going to come one from the middle. It's Smith on Doherty, and it looks like a successful counter there. Well done, Woodgate, countering out Holmes on the right-hand side as we're looking at the screen. 3 balls to Derby Phantoms, one down the middle. Jump out of the way and kicking his legs to the side from Woodgate there. 4v3, Spartans in the lead, cross court, and then there was an after throw onto Woodgate, who successfully blocks it safely so that he remains in. Still 4v3, high pressure from Bell, who then comes back on himself to make a safe block. Pressure up the court. Oh, and Whitelaw's left stranded and hit out on the legs. There was an avenge shot on Bell, then a counter on Tapping, and an exchange there, Woodgate for Smith to end that set, with Leamington Spartans taking the points. Well played to the team in red. They're going to get 2 points for winning that first set here at St George's Park in the Men's Super League, the top division of dodgeball in England and Wales. Middle ball won by Winters. Phantoms just take their time to put it back in because it popped out the back of the court. Their ball retriever puts it in, and now we are back in play. What's going to happen here? Single ball, just one off the wing. The inside hit made by Ellis on Woodgate. And a low ball there from the experienced Harrison onto Ellis. Cross court. Unsuccessful in reaching the target. Successful block by Leche, who was countered by Holmes. 5v5, everything tied up. Single ball by Bell is blocked back by the winger there for Leamington Spartans, and Derby will go again. There's an early pre-throw that Bell unsuccessfully tried to block, but he lost control of his ball, so he is out, and it's 4v4. Early pre-throw from Tapping, but it's ducked underneath and blocked. And then the cover shot could not connect. Single ball from the wing, just left very wisely by 25 Tapping. It was out to his side. That would have been a difficult one to catch. Fantastic counter on the wing for Leamington Spartans, hitting out Winters, I believe. 2-ball attack on Holmes, who jumps over them. He makes a call as they go up for a double counter. 2 singles, which Whitelaw is able to leap over. Spartans with a 4-2 advantage in this set. High pressure from Leche, 2 singles, 1 misses, 1 he blocks back. Derby Phantoms with 3 balls. Leamington Spartans put their 2 balls onto the wings. They're faking. 1 ball, or 2 balls come in, but both wide of the mark, and there's a counter from Whitelaw on Tapping to make it 4v1. Smith in a tight spot here. Single ball from Leche, hits the ground. No hit, and a fantastic dive to the ground from Smith there as he looks to counter. Will he go brave? No, he goes out the ball. And there's a counter from Whitelaw, which is kicked up on his back by Smith, and then he makes the catch. Ellis comes back in. He wanted to do it as a team, but Smith was too keen. 2 balls not blocked by Lecce. Dive underneath from Ellis, and then a push pass hits out Ellis, and it's 2-1 win to Leamington Spartans right in the death throes of that game. Just got himself caught out up court, and anything would have hit him there. It was a push pass from the chest that got him out. Fantastic stuff from Smith to get his teammate back in there and have them fighting right at the end. But it is 4-2 to Leamington Spartans in the red, far side of the court as you're watching. Cross court as the Spartans look to get a bit mixed up there. They almost collided with each other in the middle of the court. Single ball blocked back by Lecce as Holmes hops backwards. Has he hurt himself? Well, he is hopping about. Not necessarily a bad thing in dodgeball, but if he's injured, could be trouble for the Phantoms. Safe block from Ellis, looks to counter Woodgate successfully. Fantastic stuff there from number 24 in purple. Single ball from the middle, hits out Smith, who'd split his legs rather wide. And a cross court from Harrison, looks to find tapping, but it's off target. Fantastic counter from Ellis, gets another hit, this time on number 14, Doherty. Levels it up player-wise. Single ball down the middle, Lecce on Holmes. Just hitting him out on the shins, a really good place to aim for. 2-ball attack hits out Whitelaw on the back. Spartans with 4. What's Ellis going to do? He's going to do nothing, and Bell hops out of the way with a 3-ball attack. Ellis actually manages to make a hit on Harrison there, it seemed, from the post throw. And Phantoms just making a call to go up together as they have 3 balls, 3 players left in. 1 ball is passed down the left-hand side, and there's a counter, which tapping just lets soar beside him. Early pre-throw and 2 balls hitting Lecce. Can Derby Phantoms get off the mark and get some points in this game? They're 3v1 up. Early pre-throw, tapping knew that was coming, then he throws high, which is easily ducked underneath. Blocked by Ellis. They're looking to triple counter here, and they managed to make the hit there. So they close out that set and get themselves 2 points on the board. The score is now 4-2 to Leamington Spartans in the red. Cross court hits Ellis out on the toes from Harrison. Nice start to the match from the England international. Single ball down the middle from Bell. Whitelaw comes up the court, blocks successfully on his way, then smacks out tapping, who dove to the floor. Early lead for Leamington. Nice pre-throw hits out Smith, and Holmes gets himself out afterwards, and there was a counter on Bell. Disastrous set, this one, for Derby, and they are fully eliminated before the end of the 3 minutes, probably even before the end of the first minute there. Cross court after throw was pushed up the court by Holmes and caught by Whitelaw. Play 2 called on Leamington Spartans. That means they've used 5 seconds up already, and they have to release 2 within the next 5 seconds. But no points were made in that rally. No hits were made, I should say. 2 balls wasted on the left wing there by Derby Phantoms, and Leamington Spartans are rubbing their hands with glee because now they've got 4 balls. Smith takes the 1 for Derby. They're releasing 2 on him, but neither were on target. Not such good aim that time around from Leamington Spartans, and in fact Harrison's walking to the outbox, so it must have been hit on him. Safe block from Tapping there. Single ball cross court at Whitelaw, and double counter on the wingers, successfully getting both Derby Phantom wingers out there. Leamington Spartans maintaining a 1-player advantage. They've got Doherty applying high pressure on the wing. Winters is still hopping, manages to catch one on his way back from Woodgate, so Holmes comes back in for that catch, and Woodgate goes out on the team of Leamington Spartans, and Derby now are in the ascendancy. High pressure from Lecce as he looks spring-loaded, ready to go. Ellis gets down low and manages to block it over his head. 4 balls to Derby. Can they press home this advantage? 2 balls released on the right-hand side, hitting out number 9, and they have a 2-player advantage now. Single ball released by Holmes. No reply immediately from Leamington Spartans. They're electing to take a little bit more time with it. Where's it going to come from now? It's 2-ball attack on Holmes, who jumps up and manages to block them. Early pre-throw from Lecce, and Tom Bell had seen that and hits on him. Few balls sailed over Doherty then, but the last one hit him in the chest as he dove down to the ground, trying to get out of the way. So Leamington Spartans still in the lead, but just 1 set in it now. 6-4, 2 Spartans. Who's your money on? Okay, so there was a hit out down the left-hand side and then a line fault from Whitelaw in the red for Leamington Spartans. So in Dodgeball you can get out 3 different ways, one being line faulting. You have to stay on your side of the court, within the confines of the court. If you step on the line or go past it, then you're out. Another way being out is to catch. If you're caught out, like Ellis caught out Lecce there, then Lecce would be out, and you get to bring in the first player out on your team, so Holmes coming back in for Derby Phantoms. And then the third and final way to get somebody out in Dodgeball is, of course, to hit them, which is what Derby Phantoms will be looking to do to the remaining 2 members left in for Leamington Spartans. We have Woodgate and Harrison. It's down and to the side of Woodgate. They look to do a double counter. There's a hit on Smith and it bounced back onto Ellis, I think. No. Block called on Ellis. So 1 hit for Leamington Spartans, but they are still 3 players deficit down. Cross court from Bell onto Woodgate, and then a counter from Harrison onto Ellis, who's blocking very well in this first half. Two single balls at separate targets. Woodgate leaps over the counter, manages to counter himself, and Tapping looks to make an revenge counter, and Harrison then goes to a counter Tapping, who dives down to the ground. It actually flies over the head of Ellis, and we have 4 players v2. Derby Phantoms up. If they can take this set, then it'll be tied up for points. Time pause there because we're not sure whether the ball that was left in Tapping's hands was a catch or if it hit the ground first, or hit him first rather, and then they hit the ground before he secured it. So it looks like it was a hit, and that's the end of the set, and the team that takes the points home is Derby Phantoms in the purple and black. And that's the end of the first half, with everything tied up at 6-6. Really exciting stuff. And we'll be back with you in the second half. Commentary from Brew Cousins. You're watching BDTV here at St George's Park. We have the Men's Super League in the morning and into the early afternoon. Next up, we have the second half of Derby Phantoms versus Leamington Spartans. The score is currently tied up at 6v6. Then after that, we have Nottingham Sheriffs versus London Storm, Manchester Bees versus Bedford Eagles, Lutterworth Meteors versus Leamington Spartans in the BDTV feature match with commentary from Emily Busby and yours truly, Brew Cousins. Then we have London Storm second team versus Manchester Bees, Norwich Nighthawks versus Bedford Eagles at 1:15, with me on commentary again, woohoo. And then at 2 p.m. we got London Storm versus Bedford Rangers, and 2:45 London Storm second team versus Bedford Eagles. As I say, second half is up next. We've got Derby Phantoms will be the far side of the court in black and purple versus Leamington Spartans in the red. And following this match, it will be Nottingham Sheriffs versus London Storm. If you're enjoying this stream, sound off in the comments. Who are you supporting? What plays have you enjoyed? And if you've got any feedback for me, I'd be willing to hear it at Brew Cousins on Twitter or Instagram. Middle ball is won by Tom Bell there. Balls have to be returned behind a ball return line before they're live and in play, and then you can hit people out. A fantastic leap over the ball from Neely, but the second one hits him. But his teammate Whitelaw manages to counter Holmes out to make it tied. 5v5, two ball attack on Bell. It looked like the two different balls went crossed in front of him before making no hits. Pre-throw from Leche on tapping, but the revenge shot immediately executed by Bell. And it's 4v4, single ball from Ellis on Harrison, who then looks to counter Smith, who then looks to hold it up, wait for the third ball to come in and make a set play. Single ball from Bell goes one in at Bird, and a fantastic after throw. Well, an after throw from Woodgate doesn't make it, but the cover shot on him does, and then there's another one also made on Harrison. Derby Phantoms taking a lead. Whitelaw hops over the ball. Bell tries to hit out Bird, but he successfully blocks it. One ball's hit onto Smith there, and a nasty counter onto Bird, who gets hit in the head there. It's 2v1 though. Super high ball, followed by one that's on target and hits him out. So Derby Phantoms taking the lead for the first time in the match. They have 8 points on the board versus Leamington Spartans 6. This time the middle ball is won by Ryan Neely. So Leamington Spartans have a 3-ball start. It's released from the middle. Harrison, who puts it into the ground, so of course there's no hit there. Single ball from Ellis, goes underneath Bird. Whitelaw looks to make an after throw and then is covered by Holmes. Smith aggressive on Lecce, who curls his body up tightly behind the ball. Uses that safety of the ball to block. Cross court onto Lecce, and then a straight ball onto Neely, who doesn't manage to make a block. There's a cover shot from Bird onto Smith, who went down onto the ground. Counter on Bell on the left-hand side, so we have 4v4 now. And this match is super tight. Ellis managing to duck underneath one there. It's play ball called on Derby Phantoms. They released 2 on Bird, who jumped up and inside but unable to get away. Push pass from Ellis, manages to hit out Lecce, but he's swiftly countered by Harrison. Derby Phantoms maintaining their one-player advantage. Cross court from Holmes onto Harrison. Counter from Harrison onto Winters, but it's hit the ground a bit too low. Derby Phantoms just slowing it down a little bit, taking a walk up. Holmes goes over the head of Woodgate. Holmes looks to counter Woodgate. Tapping's released early on Harrison, who hopped over it and then got the free shot on number 25. Tied up at 2-2. Early ball from Harrison just hits the ground again. Everybody was primed and loaded, ready to release then. Two balls targeted on the right-hand side from Spartans has seen them take the lead in this set. Can they take the points to tie things back up? There's been plenty of high balls from Derby Phantoms. The 2 of Leamington Spartans just go by the side there. And a final last gasp attempt from number 5, but referee blows the whistle for the end of the 3 minutes there, and because Spartans had 2 players left on versus Derby Phantoms 1, they take the 2 points and tie things up at 8-all, I believe. Whitelaw caught out, takes a jog to the outbox, counter from Bell and Woodgate, who just gets his feet out of the way. Then Bell is dashing back to get out of the way of Bird's counter, and he just jumps out of the way. 2 balls released down the wings, 2 counters coming straight back at them. Holmes manages to save that ball from just returning into the enemy territory. So there was an exchange down the right-hand side with Holmes hitting out Bird, but there was a pre-throw from the left-hand side hitting out a player for Derby Phantoms, I believe. I've just paused time as you see the referees have come in. They're going to just discuss what they've seen and make the call. So time will be paused. Phantoms with a 3-player advantage as we restart here in the second half at St George's Park. Double pre-throw on Lecce, but no hits, and in fact Ellis was hit out. Came quite high up to make that pre-throw. Lecce successfully countering Ellis there. Him out underneath the ball, and a counter from Harrison. Lecce left high up the court though, and hit out by the right winger for Derby Phantoms. Done well to take it down 3-2 though. I think Harrison is going to make a hit on Smith there. Yes, he does. Neely is out though, and it's still a 1-player advantage to Derby Phantoms. Easy block, and then Harrison gets himself back into a defensive position. Safe ball wide of the target from tapping. Oh, and he's broken the block. Fantastic stuff from Alex Harrison. No movement from the Derby Phantoms player there, unfortunately. A bit more aggressive from tapping that time. More central targeting. On Harrison to throw. They both release at the same time. Oh, and then Harrison breaks the block of tapping. Fantastic set for him, and he's hyped his teammates up. Tight match here as Spartans lead 10 points to 8 with a turnaround set from the England veteran Alex Harrison, number 5. This set starts off a bit cautious, no players out on either team. Spartans releasing 1 from the middle. High pressure from Doherty. It's a in-swinging one from Bell, which misses, and then Woodgate comes up the court but gets hit out himself. Fantastic hit onto the leg of Holmes there. Couldn't pull it up and out of the way. Lots of movement on the back line from Leamington Spartans there, and a nice little hop over the ball from Alex Harrison, who's played well in this second half thus far, with good survivability. Commentator's curse. His block was broken there. Leamington Spartans take 3 balls. They're 1 player down. Bell hit out as he jumps in the air. He tries to block but can't make it. Hits his body. He is out. It's 4v4. Spartans have to release 3. 1, 2, 3, all on Whitelaw, who had laid down on the court to try and change his silhouette. But they tracked the movement well and hit him out. Oh, power throw down the middle. Aggressive posturing from Lecce, but he's high up court, and there's a cross-court attack that came out on him. Hits him on the toes. Play 2 on Leamington Spartans. They're going to release 2 at Smith. They managed to hit him. And they release 2 on Ellis, who goes underneath the ball. And it's 2v2. Doherty and Neely versus Tapping and Ellis. Tapping and Ellis for Derby Phantoms come up, do a fake at the line. 2 throws at Neely, looks to running counter on Ellis, who's run to the back of the court but can't get there quick enough. Get out of the way of the counter. 2 balls released on Neely by Tapping, 1 up in the air and 1 straight at him. He's going more aggressive now, he's looking to hit out Neely, and that's the end of the 3-minute set. Leamington Spartans coming out on top, and another tight one. They're going to take another 2 points and extend their lead to 4 points here. Scores 12-8 to Spartans in the closing throws of the match. It's been a really tight one. Ellis manages to lose the ball there, which he was running for without competition. Plants his foot on it, and it goes over to the team of Spartans. So they have 4 balls. They've released 2 on Holmes. He's hopped over those, and it's still 6 players on court for both teams. 3 balls to Spartans, who Holmes manages to block it. Then he looks to counter on the right-hand side. Lecce comes up really aggressively, closes the distance, hits out number 22 for Leamington Spartans. Well played 55 there for Leamington Spartans. There's a hit on Lecce and on Doherty. Tapping with the hit on Doherty. And Phantoms need to take this frame if they were to have any chance of coming back. Smith it out in that double attack there. 2-ball strike. Phantoms still have a 1-player advantage. 2-ball attack on Woodgate, who just ducks down underneath it. And there's a 1-for-1 there with Tapping and Neely exchanging hits. Of course, that favours Derby Phantoms, who are already 1-player advantage there. Leamington Spartans left with just 2 players on court. Plenty of communication between them. Single ball from Ellis. Easily read, easily blocked by Woodgate. Two-ball attack on Woodgate, who's managed to stay safe. They've got 4 balls. Are they going to go 2-ball on Bell? Yes, they are. He skids about on the back of the court, keeps himself in. Single ball into the ground from Harrison. 2-ball counter. It's Bell and Ellis on Woodgate. Woodgate counters out Ellis on the left-hand side. Bell looks to hit out Woodgate as he skids onto the back of the court there, onto his bottom. It's 2v2. He's pushing for it. There's a double counter on Bell. And Leamington Spartans will be very happy with that. And that should be the match now. So a really, really tight game there. Derby Phantoms are certainly unlucky to come away with a 6-point deficit there. It was, the game was tighter than the scoreline would suggest, I believe. And that really could have gone either way. Fantastic turnaround set from Alex Harrison, seemed to be the turning point of the match there. Well played to him. I'll give the England vet the man of the match there. Top stuff. I'll be back for the featured match, doing commentary with Emily Busby. If you've got any feedback for me, you can pass it on to me at Brew Cousins on X or Instagram. You've been watching BDTV here at St George's Park, the Men's Super League. Up next, more Super League action.